John, define the season for you so far.
It's been a bit of a mixed batch, really. There's been some good parts and some not so good parts. I say as a team and personally, we started the season quite slowly, but of late, sort of last 3 months or so, the results have been a lot better. Only a couple of losses in there. For me personally, I think after the sort of bedding in period in the first sort of 10 games, switched my role a little bit and been able to, get some goals and get a few assists sort of in the last 11 starts. Got 7 goals and 4 assists. So I just want to be playing as much as I can and hoping that I can affect the team and affect the game so that we can try to pick up some points.
Much has been made of that position. Is it a big deal to you?
Not really. As I say, I'm learning the role. It's not something that I've ever really been used to before I came here. But there's loads of different ways to play it. As I've said, there's sort of myself, there's Andy Cannon, Gareth Evans, Pittman, who can all play that role and all play it differently. So there's no sort of set instructions of what you need to do. It's sort of play it as you see it and express yourself, really. And obviously being a striker, I'm sort of play a little bit more attacking and try get into the danger areas a bit more, which is more natural to me than say maybe Andy Cannon, who's a bit more of a midfielder. But obviously you do have a responsibility and a role to do some defensive duty as well, a little bit more than you do as a centre forward. So it's just, as I say, getting the balance right of being effective in that position and affecting games with goals and assists and performances.
Did you understand you'd play in that position when you signed?
No, I didn't know I was going to obviously play there. It was, I sort of saw myself and see myself as a number 9, and that's sort of where I've had the most success in my career, barring a couple of games when I played at Orient, I played as a number 10 and I was moved onto the wing a little bit there, but I always saw myself as a centre forward, and that's probably my most effective position. But the way that we're playing at the moment and the way that the team's set up, it's suiting having sort of Ellis up there with his physicality and his strength and his aggression, which obviously means that I'm sort of biding my time a little bit for the number 9 role. But when I've played and got opportunities in the number 10, I think I've done okay. As I say, I've contributed with goals and assists, and that's sort of all I can really do from there, as well as my sort of work rate and athleticism that I can show in that position.
Like you said, 7 goals. I think you might have done yourself out of one because I count it as 8. But that's not a bad tally, is it?
Yeah, no, obviously I got 8, but sort of 7 in the last sort of batch of games. As I say, I started the season pretty slow, and I think I only had maybe 1 in the first 10 or 11. And then since then, sort of, look at like the Southend game and the Rotherham game, the Lincoln game, sort of from that sort of batch of games. As I say, in my last sort of 11 starts, there's been a couple of short sub appearances in there as well. But being able to contribute to that it's okay. And yeah, I've got 8 goals. It's not sort of the numbers and stuff that I've been hitting in the past few seasons, but as I say, playing a slightly different role. But I still believe that if I can get back into the side and get a run of games from now to the end of the season, I'll be able to hopefully keep scoring, keep on a good run, keep contributing to the team, which will ultimately help us win games of football and try to get us where we want to be.
Yeah, it's not inconceivable that you might reach 15, 20 again by the end of the season.
Yeah, you never know. You can go through hot spells and cold spells, and you could go and roll up on Saturday, get a hat-trick, and all of a sudden you're on 11 and it looks really different. So obviously football can change very quickly. You can, as I say, I've got 3 and 3. Hopefully this could be a start of a bit of a purple patch and I get on a bit of a run of goals. And that obviously helps your tally tick over quite nicely. So, but the most important thing is obviously us getting the wins and the points that we need to achieve what we want to try to achieve this season.
Bolton's a funny kind of game because people will expect you to roll them over.
Yeah, people look and probably say Bolton are at the bottom of the table and struggling, but they've obviously had a lot of issues, a lot of change of players and new managers come in and all the off the field stuff, which is, it's not nice to see, but people will be probably expecting for us to go there and win, we're going to be aiming to try go there and win, but it's not a given. Obviously, when we played them earlier in the season, we scraped a 1-0, and that was sort of their first full team with a proper side that they had, and they wasn't playing some of the younger players. So they do have a lot of quality players. They've brought in some good players, and we need to just make sure we're professional and we apply ourselves correctly to try and get the win. Because if we take away the stuff that we have been doing well with recent and try to do something different, it may not work for us. So we need to just keep on doing what we've been doing to win games of football.
Still in 2 cups, handily placed in the league. It's all to play for.
Yeah, we're halfway through January now. This is really the business end of the season, and it's a bit of a cliche, but no one really remembers what happens sort of August, September, October. It's sort of what happens between January and May, which really changes and defines seasons. So we're in a good position. Last season, obviously, Portsmouth were a long way front, and with that comes a different pressure of everyone wanting to beat you. Trying a little bit harder to beat you, but we're sort of just ticking along nicely, and we're sitting in a position where we can hopefully try to win some games and keep pushing up, and first of all try to get into the top 6 and then move on from there.
And you've come close to the Championship so often before. Could this be it?
Yeah, obviously there's a chance that it could be. Don't want to say that it's a formality that it'll happen, but we need to make sure that we apply ourselves correctly every single game. Keep a winning mentality throughout the team, throughout the squad, because there's 11 players that start, but we're going to need everyone between now and the end of the season to be successful, whether that's people that are not playing. They may have big roles to play come the back end of the season, so everyone's got to be ready, everyone's got to be training hard and pushing each other in the group to make sure that we're in a good position coming into the back 3 months of the season.